Bobby Hamilton Jr. on pole, followed by David Reagan, Bobby Labonte, Paul Menard, Matt Crafton, Todd Bodine, the winner of the Daytona 500 last season. So we're going to see how this one goes. Pace car pulls down 16 laps for these duels, as Bobby Hamilton Jr. gets them going for the first Cup duel. As Bobby Labonte going for the lead, winner of the Budweiser Shootout, trying to maybe get the Daytona triple this season? Could he do it? As Scott Dixon take the lead in the 39 Fisher and Paykel car. Behind him, Ryan Newman and Mark Webber, who qualified in on pace, the F1 driver for Red Bull Racing. He has drawn a lot of eyes to this race weekend from foreign nations, from Europe mostly, but also from his homeland, Australia. A lot of NASCAR fans already down under for Marcus Ambrose, so they have even more drivers to cheer for this weekend. Mark Webber here.
Yeah, and Ambrose, I don't think is even in this race, so...
John Andretti, and also the Poob machine of Derek Cope, upstart streaming service Poob, sponsoring a car full-time this season. We'll see how that one works
A lot
out.
of funding's gone into that Poob car.
Yeah, I've heard they're actually streaming an onboard for the 500 itself on Poob if he makes the race.
Yeah, only if he makes the race. They're also streaming the live-action Squidward film with The Rock, exclusive to Poob. Very interesting film. I recommend checking that one out on
You know what
Poob.
about Squidward? I bet he's an interesting guy.
As Terry Labonte to the front of the field. Terry Labonte struggled mightily last season for Yates Racing, so much that they had to contract the entire car because he was so bad. And now he's in an even worse car, so that's bound to work out great. I'm sure that'll be a great move.
But it is working right now. Yeah, but here comes the Ganassi car.
Greg Biffle. And the Biff to the lead. He scored the only win for a full-time Ganassi driver last season, winning the Knoxville Dirt Race. Kind of an out-of-nowhere win for Greg Biffle, but got it done on the dirt last season.
Well, Greg Biffle is a pretty solid driver. I feel like anything he drives, he can have a pretty decent shot in.
And now the 3, Brian Vickers to the lead. And he's got Kyle Busch behind him, but also his Alliance teammate, Joe Nemechek there. Joe Nemechek runs for Richard Childress in the State Farm Series, but has a separate Nemco operation in the Cup Series, which they do get some technical support from Richard Childress, but not a lot.
Yeah.
You know, the part-time car for Front Row, they have an alliance with the State Farm-only team Rusty Wallace Racing, so you're going to see the 2 Rusty Wallace drivers in that car this season, being Brendan Gaughan and Kenny Wallace.
And they have 2 full-time cars as well.
Yeah, Carl Edwards and Dale Jr., who I believe are both in Duel 2, and will both have to race their way in, despite being big names, as John Andretti takes the lead here late in the going. 3 part-time cars up front, 3 transfer spots, and they belong to the current top 3 in the race. Can he do anything?
He's not going to have enough.
No, it's going to be Kurt Busch winning Duel 1 for Michael Waltrip Racing. The transfers in will be Terry Labonte. Oh, geez, there, below the apron. They're wrecking a bit. Oh, the 77 and 88 clacked a bit after the race. That's just unnecessary damage to those cars.
Got a bit of beef.
As the transfers in will be Terry Labonte, Scott Speed, and Joe Nemechek. Scott Speed D&Qs for the series he's full-time in and qualifies for the series he's part-time in.
Typical.
So that's something. Anyways, Robbie Gordon on pole for Duel 2, and here we go. He's starting inside of 2008 champion Casey Mears.
Hi guys, welcome to Duel number 2.
Jamie McMurray leading the pack here in Duel 2. Got Reed Sorensen, Cale Gale, Quint Boyer. Bunch of Fords around him. And Reed Sorensen will take the lead here. Kevin Conway, 3 wide for the lead. He extends 13. Being pushed by Scott Wimmer. Braun Racing, part-time last season, full-time this season. And Scott Wimmer was the driver tapped to drive that 32. And they have to race their way in this race, so see if Wimmer is up to the challenge here. As he is going to go to the lead. He's got Takuma Sato behind him. Full-time State Farm for Sato this season. Japanese driver, not a very common sight in NASCAR.
But look, at next to him, it's Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson, the 22. Clicked by Jeff Burton in the Wheaties car. Now Johnson moves up, and Burton's probably going to take the lead here.
At 22, a winner at Daytona with Warburton. Jimmy Johnson, a winner himself, I believe.
And speaking of Burtons, Jeff Burton leading the field.
Takuma Sato, big surprise. He's never really left the open wheel category. Jumping to NASCAR, this is one of his first races. And he's up here in the front.
Yeah, he did have to do the ARCA race at Daytona this season. And then State Farm did his duel there, locked in on owner's points, and now trying to qualify in, tapped to drive the open car for Germain Racing as Cale Gale leads. He won Talladega State Farm last season, so he knows how to get it done here at the super speedways.
In talks in the rumor camp, McDonald's obviously big fans of McMurray. They want to introduce the Jamie McMurray meal, depending on how successful he is this season. So, wouldn't that be cool? Go to McDonald's and there's a meal named after you.
The front row cars making their way through the field. Two high-profile drivers at front row, Carl Edwards and Dale Jr. What a duo! They're gonna have to try and rebuild that front row team that, despite having Carl Edwards and despite even getting a win, still did not even finish top 35 in the owners' points. He won a race, and they still did not finish top 35. I don't know how they managed that one.
I think that's just how competitive this series is.
Miz goes to the bottom.
Champion has made his presence known tonight. Could he maybe add a Daytona 500 win to his trophy cabinet? He DNQ'd this race last season, actually, and still won the championship. As there was no top 35 to go off of, it was a complete points reset, so he had a lot of unexpected DNQs last season. Okay,
and
this is
wait.
the super slow-mo here for the Gibbs cars.
Here we are. Dang, they're going fast.
Oh my god!
Jesus.
I don't know how they scored that.
We gotta see that again.
Sadler the win, but we're hearing from the booth that they're going to review this finish and look at it very closely to make sure Sadler got it. We're again, another camera. I think that angle shows it more clear that Sadler got it.
Something.
All right, here is a great still of it. You can see Sadler got it by a tiny bit. Look at that.
Ah, damn.
And that's just, I mean, for Joe Gibbs, that's got to be a real photo op right there. Wow.